Growing its EV contributions, Volvo is sending off the little EX30 SUV with stylish styling to oblige its normal super advanced stage. Single and double engine renditions are accessible, the previous with a 268 horsepower back-tire drive arrangement and the last option with a 422 horsepower all-wheel drive game plan that Volvo says makes the EX30 its fastest speeding up vehicle to date. Regardless of which powertrain you pick, you'll get the equivalent 64.0 kWh battery pack that is said to present to 275 miles of driving for every charge. The EX30 sports cool drove lighting components and Volvo's even-handedly commended comfortable pale seats, yet its Lodge makes maintainability a side dish to its style. Volvo has picked reused materials for the SUV's upholstery and cooperated with carbon non-partisan providers to give the EX30 an edge in ecological benevolence. The EX30 squeezes into the Volvo setup beneath the C40 Re-Energize and XC40 Re-Energize couple and makes another passage-level spot in the brand's pecking order. EV motor, power, and performance. The single-engine expanded reach model is controlled by a 268 horsepower electric engine mounted on the back pivot that is great for 253 pound-feet of force. Volvo expresses advancing to 60 miles per hour ought to require generally 5.1 seconds with that arrangement. The double-engine execution model will offer daredevils the EV punch they're searching for. With an engine on every pivot adding up to 422 pull and 400 pound-feet of force, Volvo says the double-engine model can send off to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds. From our experience during a short test drive in Barcelona, that appears to be a precise gauge. We additionally tested the back-tire drive single-engine model, which isn't as fast yet at the same time demonstrated decently punchy for the metropolitan setting we drove in. The two models offered a firm ride on 19-inch wheels, yet the EX30's suspension feels adjusted and deft on twisty streets. A cross-country model might join the setup somewhat later, offering more ground leeway and a more tough look. Volvo hasn't given us everything about that model right now, yet we don't anticipate seeing any bad-to-the-bone going mud-romping hardware being important for that bundle. Range, charging, and battery life. All forms of the EX30 accompany a 64.0 kWh battery pack which Volvo says is sufficiently enormous to give up to 275 miles of driving for every charge in back-tire drive models. All-wheel drive models are assessed at 265 miles for every charge, and both can be charged on a DC quick charging association at a pinnacle charging pace of 153 kilowatts. Volvo claims the battery can be charged from 10 to 80% in under 30 minutes on such an association. Fuel economy. The EPA hasn't delivered efficiency gauges for the EX30 yet, however we anticipate that it should be cutthroat with other little electric SUVs like the Hyundai Kona Electric and the Kia Niro EV. Whenever we get an opportunity, we'll take the EX30 on our 75-mile-per-hour interstate efficiency test course and update this story with its outcomes. Interior, comfort, and cargo. The EX30's inside utilizes reused materials all through for a greener impression. One upholstery choice, for instance, utilizes squander from the denim reusing process, while different choices incorporate an inside sewn from flax and a fleece elective produced using reused polyester. The inside looks very moderate, which lines up with Volvo's Scandinavian plan technique, however for certain new turns. The EX30's glove box, for instance, is moved to the focal point of the dashboard under the infotainment screen, making it simpler for the driver to reach. The SUV's cup holders additionally crease up when not being used to let loose space. Infotainment and connectivity. Taking a page from Tesla's playbook, The EX30 will include a solitary in an upward direction situated show screen that fills in as both infotainment and measure show. The 12.3-inch screen utilizes a refreshed variant of Volvo's Google-based point of interaction and Elements Google Guides for route as well as remote Apple CarPlay. The EX30's sound system is remarkable in that Volvo chose to introduce a sound bar across the foundation of the dashboard as opposed to individual speakers all through the vehicle. Safety and driver assistance. Volvo additionally offers bountiful driver help tech in the EX30. New elements incorporate a driver consideration screen that screens face and eye developments, as well as involved location for the directing wheel. Volvo says the framework can decide if the driver is exhausted or occupied, perhaps before the driver has acknowledged it. Different features incorporate the new Convergence Auto Brake Highlight, which will identify vehicles crossing the driver's way and halt the EX30 to assist with forestalling mishaps. Lastly, another entryway open alarm will caution you on the off chance that a cyclist or other vehicle is moving toward the EX30's entryway. The main shock given Volvo's obligation to somewhere safe is the shortfall of a speedometer in the driver's normal view. To check the speed you need to look at the focal screen. Pricing and which one to buy. The cost of Volvo EX30 begins at $36,245 and goes up to $47,895 relying upon the trim and choices. While the EX30's beginning cost is particularly sweet, the mid-range in addition to manage with the single-engine powertrain is the variant we'd suggest. Of course, its 268 horsepower arrangement won't be essentially as speedy as the 422 double-engine variant, yet you get some additional driving reach as a compromise. The in addition to manage adds helpful elements to the EX30's spec sheet, including an all-encompassing sunroof, 19-inch wheels, and a Harman/Kardon sound system.